Vexler's empty classroom before first period. How did Isabella manage to organize all those students for a sit-in when everyone was already dealing with so much? The way she kept track of everything in Google Docs and helped file complaints while still planning protests shows such amazing organizational skills for a teenager. About 40 kids showed up and sat silently in the hallway with signs that said things like, "Let us say goodbye," and "Humanity over test scores." The vice principal came out and threatened everyone with suspension if they didn't move, but nobody got up. We all sat there until the first bell rang and then quietly went to our classes without saying a word. That afternoon, Bennett Mason from the Teachers Union released a statement to the local news defending Miss Vexler's right to due process. The statement warned against rushing to judgment and said teachers need to maintain exam security without being blamed for following protocol. Reading it made me understand that no matter what she did to me, she was going to have professional defenders protecting her. The system was designed to protect teachers like her, not students like me, and that made everything feel even more hopeless. That evening, I dragged myself to the school board meeting even though every part of me wanted to stay in bed. The meeting room was packed with parents and teachers, and I signed up for public comment with shaking hands. When they called my name, I walked to the podium and looked at 5 board members shuffling papers and checking their phones like they had better places to be. I started telling them what happened, and my voice cracked on every other word, but I kept going. I told them about the hospice call and the locked door, and Mom dying while I was trapped in that classroom. One board member was doodling on his notepad, and another kept looking at the clock on the wall. Halfway through my statement, the room started spinning, and my chest got so tight I couldn't breathe right. The panic attack hit me hard, and I gripped the podium to stay standing. That's when Amy Gordon stood up from the audience and walked right up to me. She started doing the breathing exercises Mom had taught Maya, and coached me through them while everyone watched. 4 counts in and 4 counts out, and slowly the room stopped spinning. I finished my statement with tears running down my face and my voice barely above a whisper. The board members thanked me for my time and moved to the next speaker like nothing had happened. The next morning, I woke up to my phone going crazy with notifications. Zelda Vasquez had published her article about what happened, and it was everywhere online and in the local paper. The comment section was a war zone with people calling us spoiled kids who didn't respect teachers, and others sharing their own bad experiences with Miss Vexler. Isabella was screenshotting the worst comments and saving them in a folder she labeled evidence. Some parents were saying we should have followed the rules, and others were saying no rule was worth what happened to me. The arguing got so bad the paper had to turn off comments. My email dinged with a message from the exam board about scheduling my makeup test. The only slot they had was the same day as Mom's funeral, which was in 3 days. I emailed back explaining the conflict, and they said I could take it next month, but it might affect my college application since scores would be late. Every single option felt like another punishment for trying to see my dying mom. Isabella's mom found out I was trying to handle all the funeral stuff alone and started a GoFundMe without asking me. She wrote about how Mom had helped so many families over the years, and now it was time to help her son. Within 6 hours, it raised $8,000 with donations from families Mom had tutored for free, and kids she'd fed when their parents couldn't afford lunch. I was grateful, but also felt like a charity case, and hated that everyone knew I couldn't even afford to bury my own mother. Ashley submitted a formal written statement to the school district explaining she'd lied about hacking Miss Vexler's computer. She included screenshots of her real grades showing she'd never needed to cheat, and explained she only said it to create a distraction so I could escape. Her parents were so mad at her for getting involved that they grounded her for a month and took away her car. A letter came from Officer Webb saying I needed to pay $200 for the broken window or do 20 hours of community service. The fact that I was getting punished for breaking a window to see my dying mother made me so angry, I threw the letter across the room. Isabella's mom said she'd help me